Hey team, we're going to be reviewing regrouping again, but now I want you to think about regrouping when we are subtracting, because today and tomorrow we are going to be practicing regrouping with subtraction. So we know that regroup means to break apart or put together a number to change its place value while keeping the same value. In subtraction, we're not putting together, that would be addition. We're breaking apart to regroup our numbers. When we subtract, we regroup a larger number and break it apart into a smaller number. That's how we regroup for subtraction. So we're going to talk about how we can break apart a 10 and 100 and 1,000 and regroup it to the next or smaller place value to have enough to subtract when you need to regroup. So when you're in a situation, let's say like 1 minus 5, we know that you don't have enough ones to take 5 away. When you have 1, 1, there are not 5 to take away. So what we can do is we can regroup from the next place value. We know that what's bigger than the ones place is the tens place, then the hundreds, then the thousands, then the 10,000s, and we can keep going, 100,000s, millions, and keep going. We know that when we don't have enough ones to subtract, we can regroup by borrowing from the tens place. A 10 is made of 10 ones. We can regroup a 10 into 10 ones because that's the same value. 10 ones is the same as a 10. They're both 10. But a 10 goes in the tens place, and we can put these 10 ones into the ones place to get enough ones to take those 5 away. So once we regroup, we can take away what we needed to and see how many are left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that 11, because we regrouped to 10, minus 5 gives us 6. Now, if we're trying to subtract in the tens place, like let's say we have 610, minus 20. We're in the tens place and we have to take 20 or 2 tens away from 10 or 1 10. That means we only have 1 10, but we have to take 2 of them away. We can't take 2 10 sticks if we only have 1. So the tens place will regroup from the next place value, which is the hundreds place. When we take a 100 block and break it apart, it's really made of 10 10 sticks. So you can break 100 apart to regroup it into 10 tens. So that would look like this. We would take 100, we'd have only 5 left because we took 1, and we'd put it in the tens place. Now we have 11 tens, which is right there. And now we can take those 2 away because there's enough. We can count how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that would be how many tens were left in the tens place. Then we still have to go to the hundreds. Now, when we don't have enough hundreds to take away, let's say we're doing like 1,500 minus 700. And we're in the hundreds place. 500s minus 700s. If we have 500s, can we take 7 of those away? No. We need to regroup from the thousands place, the very next place value, to get enough hundreds to take away. We know that a big 1,000 block is actually made of 10 hundreds blocks stacked up into that cube. So here's one of those hundreds blocks. There's another one, and it would go back 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 200, 3, all the way to 1,000. There are 10 hundreds blocks in this thousands block. So we can regroup a thousands block into 10 hundreds. And in a math problem, if you're stacking and subtracting, that would look like taking a thousands, there'd be 0 left because there was only 1, and giving it to the hundreds. Now we have 15 hundreds So we should be able to take away 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Regrouping lets us take away numbers by borrowing from the next place value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hundreds are left. So this problem needed us to regroup to find out that there would be 8 hundreds left. Regrouping means to break apart when we're subtracting, or put together when we're adding, a number to change its place value without changing the actual value of the number. A 10 can become 10 ones, 100 can become 10 tens, and 1,000 can become 10 hundreds. This can go on forever. 10,000s can become, or 10,000 can become 10,000s. 1,000 can become 10 hundreds. 100 can become 10 tens, and 10 tens, or 110 can become 10 ones. We can break apart numbers to regroup them to have enough to subtract. Now, we're going to practice this 2 times. The first time you're going to notice 4 minus 3. Remember, we always start in the ones. 4 minus 3 is 1. When we have 4 ones, we can take away 3. There's 1 left. 6 tens minus 1 10 is 5. When we have 6 tens, we can take away 1. There's 5 left. 100 minus no hundreds gives us 100. When we have 100, we can take away none and have 1 of them left. You're going to notice this problem doesn't require regrouping. Don't forget, subtraction doesn't mean regroup. We only regroup when we don't have enough to take away. So if this number had been 3, I still don't need to regroup because 3 take away 3 would give me 0. I could do that. But if this number becomes a 2, 2 take away 3 is not possible. I would need to regroup. This problem did not require regrouping. Let's check out this one. I want to remind you there's 2 ways to subtract. Most of us have been doing the stack and solve just like with addition. But a lot of us are doing expand and solve just like with addition. And both of these strategies work as long as you know how to use them efficiently. So please choose the strategy that is best for you. 164 minus 76. Remember that we line up place values. My ones place goes beneath my ones place. My tens place goes beneath my tens place. I don't have hundreds in this number. The hundreds is alone. Line up place values. You could even write your place value chart if you need the help because that proves you've got them lined up. Now in this expand, we would have 164 minus 76. Again, lining up those place values, keeping the ones, tens, and hundreds together. All right, 4 take away 6. When we have 4 ones, we cannot take 6 away without regrouping. We need to borrow from the tens. If we take a 10, there were 6, how many will be left? 5. And that gives that 10 stick to my ones, breaking apart into 10. You can just put the 10 with the 1 in the tens place. It becomes 14, and we can take 6 away. You could use your dots, or you can just minus. We know 14 minus 6 is 8, because 8 plus 6 is 14. 5 take away 7. In the tens place, I have 5 take away 7. 5 take away 7. I don't have enough. I'm going to have to regroup by borrowing from the hundreds. There are none left because I took the only one there was, and I'm going to give it to the tens. Now I have 15 tens because I took the 100 and broke it into 10 more tens. 15 tens minus 7 tens gives me 8 tens. Draw your sticks if you need help or count up on your fingers. I know 7 plus 8 gives me 15. I know 15 minus 7 is 8. Now I have 0 minus 0, which gives me 0. I could write it, or I could just leave my answer as 88. I needed to regroup twice. I didn't have enough to take away. Check it out in expanded. 4 take away 6, there's not enough. Borrow from the tens. When I take a 10 away from 60, I'm left with 50. That gives my 10 to the ones place. They broke into 10 ones, so now I have 14 ones. 14 ones minus 6 ones gives me 8 ones, just like over here. Now I'm looking at the tens place and I see 50 take away 70. I don't have enough to take 70 away. I need to regroup from the hundreds, which will leave me 0 hundreds, and give my tens place the 100, turning 50 into 150. 150 minus 70 is 80. I could count back or forward. I count forward: 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I had to count up 80 or 8 tens. 0 minus 0 is 0. I know that 80 plus 8 is 88. You can use whichever strategy works best for you, remembering that you need to regroup when you don't have enough to subtract. Do your best.